Today, October 2nd, 2019, is the 150th birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. Celebrations are being planned all over the world to remember this great man, father of the nation in India, who fought for a long time against British Raj through non-violence and other special innovative techniques to get independence. What he started really essentially decolonized the entire world in just about 20 years. There are celebrations being planned all over the world. Padyatras, prayers, various discussions, debates, seminars, workshops. People are talking about what Gandhi really meant to this world after 150 years. There are media reports in global newspapers, television channels, and lots of excitement in Gandhian community all over the world. The key, though, is not just to remember and reflect on Gandhi. Key is to really see if we can use this moment to take few of his basic fundamental ideas and begin to practice in our individual and collective life. Gandhiji meant different things to different people. To some, he was a symbol of simplicity. To others, he was all about truth and trust, non-violence, about living a very open, transparent life. People talk about his Dandi March, his salt movement, his strikes for textile workers, his fasts. Every one of his actions had deep meanings and huge impact in an era where television was hardly available. Gandhiji was a man who believed in information culture, openness, accessibility, connectivity, networking, democratization, decentralization, were basic ideas rooted in everything he did. Today, world is going through a very complicated and difficult time. All over the world, some of the great leaders are really changing direction, attacking democracy, curbing freedom, controlling and manipulating media, spreading lies, and really beginning to respond in a very different way than we thought things would happen in the 21st century. It is at this time Gandhi becomes very relevant, not just to India, but to the rest of the world. Gandhi also is very relevant to young people. Unfortunately, when I speak to young, their reaction is, we have no connection with Gandhi. We were born way after independence. Last 20, 30 years have changed the world completely. And Gandhi don't mean anything to us. They want instant gratification, quick fixes, sound bites, photo ops, and they are hooked onto social media. As a result, it is very important to take some time out to study Gandhi. There is so much published on Mahatma Gandhi. There is a national portal called Gandhi Heritage Portal, built during Dr. Manmohan Singh's time in collaboration with the Gandhi Ashram in Ahmedabad. I suggest you look at this portal carefully. Go visit, read about books he wrote, newspapers he published, speeches he gave, television interviews available in those days, prayers he participated in, and the movement he led. Amount of literature on Gandhiji is available in all languages. Unless and until you really spend time studying what this great man meant to the world, it's very difficult to appreciate what he did. To many of my young friends, I tell them, just read Gandhiji's autobiography. That will tell you a lot about what he was all about. In fact, I always tell young people, especially in Congress Party, that you must read two books. One, definitely Gandhiji's autobiography, and another one, Discovery of India by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. These things go hand in hand. So what does Gandhiji really mean to the world today? To me, if I really summarize the essence of Gandhi in my own little way, I look at three areas of importance to me. And the lessons I have learned from Gandhiji. One, people. There, five of his founding ideas make so much sense to me. One, truth and absolute truth. It is important to learn to practice truth. It is important in our interpersonal relationships, in our business dealings, in our political thought. Truth is something so very fundamental that we lose sight of the impact of truth on all of us. That trust. We must learn to trust people. There is so much mistrust in this world, which demand lawyers and contracts and accountants, and cheating goes on, corruption goes on, backbiting goes on. And at the end of the day, you realize that so much of energy is wasted because people really don't focus on truth and trust. Third, love. We must love everybody. We must love people who are different from us, who look different, who celebrate different events, follow different religion, different in terms of education, environment, rural, urban, rich, poor. We must learn to love everybody. And third, And fourth one is simplicity. Gandhiji talked about simple living. Living that reflects modesty, decency, cleanliness. And then Gandhiji really talked about, besides simplicity, for people, courage. If we don't have courage to stand for the truth and trust, honesty, ethics, and fight, we are really not serving the cause of the people. So to me, these five were very fundamental issues related to people. Then Gandhiji talked about environment, planet. To him, there were two most important things: people and planet. He talked about environment, interdependence of everyone, plants, animals, air, water, people, forest. Then he talked about needs of the people. It is important to distinguish between needs and wants. There is enough in this world for our needs, but there is never enough for people's want. People want more and more and more. And Gandhiji reminded us that having more doesn't make us happier. Richness does not guarantee happiness. Happiness is a state of mind. Gandhiji talked about service to people, to our planet. And to keep our planet in better shape, we have to sacrifice. People have to learn to use energy effectively, transport effectively, conserve food, conserve water. The most interesting thing Gandhiji talked about had to do with bottom-up development as opposed to top-down. Today, all global leaders are worried about top-down development. They want big projects, big funding. In the process, rich become rich or richer, and poor remain poorer. There is a huge disparity in this world between rich and poor, urban, rural, educated, uneducated. In India, we have 400 million people who are below poverty line. I was just watching a video on small little village in Gujarat. We talk about Gujarat model of development. You watch what is going on in that village and you feel sorry for this little community. They have no water, very little food, no work, no access to health facilities. How can we afford to do these things? And that's what Gandhiji talked about when he said bottom-up development. We got to create jobs for the people at the community level. We worry about global conflicts, but we don't worry about local needs. And finally, having clarity on what is important to people, what is important to planet, Gandhiji talks about platforms. And this is my version of synthesizing Gandhi. Platforms include, to begin with, freedom. People must have freedom to be empowered, to do what they want to do, decide how they want to live their life, what religion they want to follow, what values they need to believe in. Freedom is so very fundamental platform for all of us to live our lives the way we want to live. And democracy. Democracy and freedom go hand in hand. Without democracy, it's very hard to have freedom. And if you have freedom, you can move about wherever you want. You can decide what you want to study, what kind of job you want to conduct, take, where you want to live, how you want to travel, what you want to say, and then connected with these two is inclusion. We must build inclusive society. Society in which everyone is respected, everyone is equal. There is focus on equity. Today, unfortunately, world over, we have huge amount of disparity. Disparity because of the race, religion, income, where we live, color of our skin, and this is a great concern. We must give dignity to everybody. This leads into diversity. We must celebrate our diversity. Diversity of culture, diversity of food, way of life, music, art, festivals. And these are the platforms we talked about, and the most important platform for which Gandhi was well known is all about nonviolence. Today, the amount of money we spend on military world over is absolutely unreal. And this goes on and on and on. People spend more and more money fighting with each other when a lot of these problems can be sorted out through conversation, dialogue, discussions, understanding, patience. World over military machine is very mighty. They create huge amount of business and people thrive on this machinery. And Gandhiji talked about non-violence. Gandhiji practiced non-violence. So to me, this unique event, while celebrating his 150th birthday, is an opportunity for all of us to begin to practice what Gandhiji believed in and taught us about how to deal with people, with love, truth, trust, simplicity, and courage. How do we deal with our planet? Focus on environment, take care of basic needs, worry about bottom-up development, sacrifice, and service. And then, to do these things, you got to believe in democracy, freedom, inclusion, diversity, and non-violence. Growing up as a little kid, I lived in a small little tribal village in Orissa. My parents, being Gujarati, believed in Gandhi and Gandhian values. They sent my older brother and I to Gandhian school. I was born in 1942. Then, growing up, Gandhian ideas were very fundamental to our way of life. Unfortunately, I find 78 years down the road, Gandhian ideas have remained locked up in books. Once in a while, we bring them to discussion table. But very few people really practice, especially our leaders. Shame that they lie, they mistrust, they manipulate, and they are the ones who are supposed to serve people. So I hope each one of us, once again, read a little more about Gandhi and make our own decision in our own mind and heart to see how we are going to shape our own life, actions, attitude, and behavior towards others. If there are enough of us with Gandhian thought, Gandhian values, I think we will see a different world. It is a battle, requires courage, because we do live in a violent world. We do live in a fake world. We do live in a world which is corrupt. And to fight every one of these elements, you got to have courage. And Gandhiji talked about courage a great deal. So I am moved once again by reading Gandhiji's literature this year. And I have spent time on and off looking at old books, watching some videos, listening to some speeches, listen to his bhajans. And I feel energized. I feel empowered with Gandhian ideas. And I hope many of my colleagues, especially at the Congress Party, young people, Indian Overseas Congress friends, my friends in business, my family members, do a little bit of soul searching and begin to live Gandhian life going forward. Wishing you all the best. And I am proud to be talking about Gandhi on his 150th birthday.